Hello, MGTOW. Hello, men. This is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. So, I want to talk about the cowardness of false morality because I believe this is essentially what we are dealing with, what we have been dealing with. To me, wokeism is merely the extension of a gynocentric feminist attitude towards life itself. And to me, and to many people, this represents a kind of false morality or a morality based on fear. So, for example, this idea that we want everybody to be equal, all right? It's absurd. Maybe you have someone who's very tall. Maybe you have someone who is very short. They can be equal before the law. They can be treated equally. All right, but they're not the same thing. And to try to ameliorate and facilitate this idea that they're the same is a fool's errand. It's actually worse than a fool's errand. It's dangerous. It is the road to hell paved with good intentions. It is allowing our worst fears to dominate our consciousness and then to dictate our reality. And this is not the way, or this is a way of, destruction and failure, which is what we have been dealing with for well over 10 years. The things that put this in place were always here. They came to the forefront in the 60s with the civil rights movement. Okay, the civil rights movement was a morally justified movement. However, the way it was used to undercut the fair treatment within our society and the rational priorities of our society was sick, was destructive, was and is unhealthy. This is a free and open market, or it should be, right, of human exchange. And what we want is the best, okay? I want the best team in the NFL to win the Super Bowl. That's all. I want the best person that we have to fly the plane. I want a strong, always ready, capable person to be a fireman. This is beauty, okay? This is form following function. When something is ideally suited to perform its task, we could easily say it is beautiful, even if it's not particularly beautiful. So, you're looking to get a screw out of, an area, and you find the perfect tool to do the job. And you're looking at that tool and you're saying to yourself, oh, this thing is beautiful, right? It's not. It's not particularly beautiful, but it's ideally suited to the job at hand. All right? This is what a human being is also. When I see a fit, strong, adapted, healthy man, I am pleased to meet him. I wish to shake his hand, see what's going on, see what kind of plans he's got going on, see if maybe I can learn something from him, right? Even the attitude is important. Do you ever have a good friend? Your good friend probably had some qualities that you might have been lacking and you admired, so maybe he knew how to talk to girls or something, or maybe he knew how to hit the baseball or something like that, okay? Function. When the thing fulfills its function, it's beautiful, right? Beauty in itself is a wonderful thing because it indicates a kind of fitness and an idealized, adaptation. So this idea that we're going to make things equal for things that are not equal is the idea of somebody who wants to be given something for free. Too much of what we're dealing with is this human desire to get something for nothing. And this is even in the realm of moral credit, virtue signaling. So the parents are so afraid of appearing conservative, right-wing, traditional, that they will allow and encourage unnecessary medical procedures on their own children that will destroy their lives. That's how good of a person they are. They're not a good person. They are kowtowing to the moral expectations of the group. It's one of the highest forms of weakness that you could possibly develop. Now, you can understand why a weak individual, a woman, an elderly person, a sick person, a child, a sick man, a weak and broken man, which to a degree we all are, you can understand why they would go along with a system even if they felt the system was corrupt, because they need to be part of the system. Their survival depends on that system. So we've got, 75, 80% of our population operating below average, cowtailing to crowd psychology, which the left, the Democrats, this feminized gynocentric worldview has fostered upon them through media, and it is peer-to-peer enforced, right? It is an ideological, peer-to-peer, authoritarian dictatorship, is using political correctness and social standing to enforce itself. I can't tell you how many times I've been canceled. I really appreciate your guys' support. Thank you for everybody who's been helping me out over on Cash App and other payment processors. But here's the thing. As soon as the payment processor finds out that I'm MGTOW and that I'm talking to men and I'm not lying to them, they shut me down. So I really appreciate your support over there on Cash App. I'll put it to good use in building the channel so that I can get a positive message out to the men. We're talking about men who are trying to do the right thing, that are good men. They don't want to hurt anybody. They just want to build a good life for themselves. And they've been destroyed. They've been dragged through the mud. They've been spit upon as if these men have been oppressing all of society and humanity for thousands of years. But the truth is no, we are its champions. We are its builders. We are its creators. We are its defenders and protectors. And these other people, they just want something for free. That's all they want. And you can understand any human being wanting that, okay? We are efficiency machine. Like if there's two pieces of fruit and one of them requires us to risk our lives and climb up onto a giant tree and the other one we can just pick it up off the ground, we're just picking it up off the ground. Nothing wrong with that, but this is just outright cowardness and laziness. This is like, I don't want to see anybody get upset, so we're going to give all of the students an A, even though 90% of them didn't earn the A. So this is what we're coming out of. This is what we're recovering from. This is the damage that has been done to us as a society, as a culture, as a world. And now we finally have a United States president who's willing to say, no, this is a bunch of bullshit and I'm going to do it my way, where I made billions of dollars. Okay, the number one real estate developer in the world, the number one construction builder in the world. And I got people who want to talk shit about that. Form follows function. Biden, okay, I don't need to get too political about this. But you see the danger, this whole idea of going too far in the wrong direction. This is what we've been dealing with. And then you understand further the existential crisis that happens within the individuals when you challenge this particular worldview. Because if you challenge this worldview, this idea that we're supposed to give free money to everybody, okay, if you challenge that, then they will say, well, then how do I get the free money? How do I get free health care? How do I get to borrow money to go to college and then not pay it back if I can't extend that courtesy to everybody, right? So it's a compromised soul. It's a compromised individual. This is why your health is the most important thing, all right? Need you to eat the right food. Need you to get a little exercise. Need you to get a good amount of sunlight every day on your skin without burning, okay? This is direct sunlight if you can get it. If you got to be in the cold a little bit, that's not too bad, okay? Cold therapy is an interesting thing, okay? But it's the vascular dilation that's actually the real benefit in my mind, to me, as far as I can figure. It's also the creation of endorphins, which will allow you to endure the same amount of pain and discomfort that you endured yesterday, but it won't bother you nearly as much, okay? And that's these internal endorphins. Now, when we are suffering with this, we look to the external world. We look to drugs, we look to emotional eating, we look to media distractions, to get us out of it. Much of our eating isn't based on our need for nutrition, but rather an emotional kind of reaction and a habit. So please take care of these things for yourself. I believe if you can get your diet in order, you can get some sunlight, you can get some sleep, and you're not hanging around somebody who's crazy and toxic and narcissistic, I believe your natural circadian rhythm will start to kick in and your natural health will start to kick in. You are not independent of this cycle, all right? You need to be in tune with it. Either you're riding the wave or, you're fighting the wave. So let's ride this wave. And find my Cash App donation link, click on it, help out the Howard Dare channel. I'll put it to good use, which is making more content for men. And I would really appreciate it because, I get hungry. And join me again, Howard Dare, as I plan to have more content for you. Thank you, MGTOW.